And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Mother
All right.
Nature said no.
So,
Also,
as
what's
we
our
left
destiny
off,
at?
Hmm?
What's our destiny at currently? Because it got lost.
Sorry.
2 and 4?
Two
Two
light,
light,
4 dark.
Thank you.
Yep. So, as we left off, Corey, there was a sort of bodyguard slaver, aiming a gun at you, which fired on its sun setting, hitting you quite significantly. You took a large amount of strain damage, and your weapon was knocked from your hand. Just that sort of fizzing moment of the stun blast sends the gun scattering off to the side. Ma'am, please calm down.
Yeah, Corey's not listening to reason much anymore.
That's fair.
Human speech is sort of beyond her at the moment, or non-human. So she drops her knees and starts scrambling towards the blaster.
Okay.
With the
Someone else is gonna get off a shot before you can retrieve it.
It's fine.
So
Only fair.
you know what? Let's end this quickly. I'm flipping a light side point or dark side point.
Yes, take Corey down with the dark side.
Jesus.
Let the hate flow through you.
Oh my god.
It's not hate so much as it is narrative efficiency flowing through me, but okay.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
That'll also hit. Wait, I upgraded the wrong side. I have to re-roll that. Because I upgraded the side that is hitting Corey, not the side that helps her at the moment.
Wow.
Okay, so that one was why. Corey, you've got your gun back. Rerun and Powder, what are you two doing?
Bzz, bzz.
Make your roll.
Just tap me with sufficient strength.
That's flat.
I'm gonna try to stick a needle in her again.
Okay.
Yay!
All right. So what is the effect of the neuroparalytic?
Neuroparalytic is a hard difficulty. That's 3 difficulty resilience check, or be stunned for 3 rounds.
Okay.
Yep.
I was looking it up earlier.
Yeah. Jeremy, resilience difficulty 3.
Okay. Diff. Oh, I already have it set at diff. There, okay. There's a success and 2 advantage.
Okay.
She's a sturdy one, that Corey.
That she is.
So you feel this go into your system, and Powder, I believe that is a one use item or something. So
yes,
check that.
I have 3 doses total.
Okay,
so
you've used a dose.
Yep.
Would I have time to take an action?
Yeah, absolutely.
I quick draw and shoot Corey.
Okay.
Is your gun
you're
set
at
to
short
stun?
range. Yeah, it's set to stun. I'm gonna double maneuver to aim twice and take 2 strain to do it.
Yeah.
I forgot about maneuvers and aim and shit. I should be doing that.
Short range is 1 difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Or a light blaster.
Wow.
That's a lot of advantages, but no successes.
That is insane.
Wow.
I have so many advantages. Can I shoot her gun out of her hand?
Again?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's typically a 3 when you hit, but given the fiat we're giving this situation, Corey, there's just another slight pulse. But the contact was made with your gun, so you don't take any additional damage, but you drop it right next to you, but you do drop your gun again.
So I
Okay.
like as I shoot her gun out, I just quickly look at Arik and just say, "Don't want her to accidentally hurt your men."
It is appreciated, sir, of course.
So is it going to take me a strain to pick the gun up?
That's a
If I wanna
single
still shoot.
maneuver, but you are currently on the floor and picking it up, so getting up would be a second maneuver. Which
I'm
would
not
take
getting
the
up.
strain. Okay. Yeah,
I'm
then
grabbing the gun, and she's kind of in like fight or flight mode. And the last person who shot her was Sai. So
okay. So
she's
you're at
shooting-
short range from Sai. I'm gonna say there's a setback die because you're prone at the moment, but
You also
And-
take 2 setback die because I have a 2 defense to range.
okay.
So 3
So that's
setback
3
die.
setbacks, 1 difficulty.
1 difficulty. Okay.
Man.
Hey, I'm the best one to get shot. I can just naturally get rid of my own strain with my class. So
Ooh.
the gun explodes.
Did I shoot myself?
If you would like to have shot yourself, that is fine. Technically, that is something you do with the spares.
Let's just.
I'm
put it-
okay
let's-
with having
Let's
shot
put the
myself.
horse down. Let's put the horse
Okay,
down.
you've shot yourself for 9 strain damage.
Oh man.
Okay. Well, I
As-
have 2 left. So
Yeah.
there's 2, and then what happens to the remaining 7?
Thaboomf.
Yo- Oh no. 9 minus 2 for my soak is 7, so 5 remaining strain damage. Do they become
It
wounds?
rolls over to wounds, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Your soak reapplies to those as well, though, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
So you take 3 wound.
Yes. I
Hey.
am out.
Okay. As you sort of aim your gun at Sai, and to all outward appearances, some sort of conditioning kicks in as you're aiming at Sai, but you're aiming down your own prone form at Sai, so you shoot yourself in the foot.
I'm like,
I love that.
that's amazing. In my head, I know this doesn't make any sense and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be what actually happened, but in my head, she picked up the gun facing the wrong way.
I was trying to give your character a little more effort, a little more agency in
No,
the
that's
situation,
fine.
but whatever you think is
No,
appropriate.
no. It doesn't make sense that you hold a blaster the wrong way. And
And still are able to shoot it? Yeah.
It's almost like guns are specifically designed to avoid you holding them the wrong way successfully.
As Corey goes down, I look at Ark and go, "I didn't know we were going to get to see your men in action during this tour, but it was a nice surprise."
He'll sort
And
of
rerun files their response time away for later.
Yep.
rerun, as far as you could tell, as soon as Sai gave permission in this instance, they were here. Though that could mean that they were around as soon as always, or as soon as Corey started acting weird.
Tagging Corey from
Yeah.
the beginning.
You're not entirely sure what led to such an immediate response time, but they were definitely close enough by that within about 4 rounds they had gotten to you close enough that immediately they could start acting once permission was given. Yeah, so Corey's unconscious. He will, of course. Yes. Now, would you like for, I can call for assistance in carrying your individual, or if you would like to handle that yourselves, we
Powder
don't
will-
mean to impose.
Powder will go to Corey and grab her by like the back of her like clothing
Yeah.
and just kind of drag her.
You
For a
can
moment.
barely drag her,
Yeah.
and you're hitting every bump along the ground
I-
because you do not have that much strength.
Rerun hits Sai up over internal comms. Assistance might be good. Also,
Yeah.
that one slave behind the glass has a knife.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. I don't do anything about that right now because we've got other things to worry about. But I look at him. I look at Ark and go, yes. Some assistance would be nice. Let's just go ahead and. I hate to do this, but let's end the tour prematurely and just get everyone back to our rooms. And I'll send
Whatever
a message when
you-
I'm ready to start again.
Of course, whatever you need. And he sort of claps his hands, and two people, not actually dressed in armor, clearly some of the slaves that are here sort of head forwards. They're both rather burly human men.
The grunts.
Pick up Corey, start carrying her.
Yeah, let's. I want to get to that room as quickly as possible.
Okay, so unless any of you would like to intercede in the time that it takes to head out of the secured area to your group's room, you arrive there without incident. The two slaves will place her down on the bed, and then exit, informing you that this is where the comm panel is. If you require anything from the kitchen, any amenities, if you require anything medical, just notify them. Someone will be sure to bring it up. We hope you have a lovely stay. Deep bow.
Yeah, and I'm super cordial.
Yeah.
Before we leave that area, though, Powder would like to try.
So you have already left that area.
I was trying to say it before we left, but you kept talking.
Okay, so what were you doing?
I just wanted to have Powder try and take a memorization of the face of the person in the room that Corey was looking at.
Sure. Roll me a. Let's see. No, it's when I say unless any of you would like to say any.
I was trying to, and you kept talking. You kept going after that. So
anyway, it's handled.
Yeah. I am letting you know for the future. Make me a. Let's go with cool roll difficulty. Difficulty 3 with a setback die, because this is not the best time for you are currently being escorted out pretty quickly.
Okay. 2 failures. So no. Okay.
No.
That's fine. I figured I would at least try it.
You know where the person is, you know generally what they look like, you don't have their exact features memorized perfectly.
Okay.
You know their breathing seem to be exhausted enough not to take in, oh, hey, there's blaster fire happening outside, enough to wake up, but that looked voluntary. But that's all.
Aaron, in the rooms that we're in now, do they have a charge alcove for droids? Or okay.
There's a charge alcove. There's also a small mini bar. There's one of those sectional chairs that's like a semicircle. There's some very nice beds. You have 3 adjoining rooms with a sort of central conference room area in the middle of them that the charge bay is probably in.
Okay.
Yeah, so once the guards leave, and we feel relatively secure, I immediately get super close to Rerun. I kneel down like I'm almost like a mechanic would be checking Rerun for something. I want to get that close. And just under my breath, I say,
"Dude, personal ball."
Yeah, right. So smooth. I under my breath, I say, "Is there any way we can check if we're being listened to right now?" As I'm acting like I'm messing with something, like during this scuffle that happened earlier.
Yeah. You're sort of fussing with his antenna a little bit or something.
Just fiddling, just so I can be super close and whisper that to Rerun.
So Rerun will reply back on internal comms. That's actually why I mentioned the knife, to see if they could to see if anybody was eavesdropping on our internals. But I can look around and see.
This looks great. Okay, I'm glad nothing was hurt on you. I give Rerun a little pat on the side and stand and make sure that Corey is in a comfortable position, and we wait patiently for Corey to wake up.
Okay. So before Corey wakes up, Rerun, you wanted to do a bug sweep, I assume?
Yes. He'll be wanting to do a bug sweep.
Mechanics difficulty 3, as the equipment is not perfect, but you've got some stuff on hand.
Okay. 3 and mechanics. 1 advantage. No success, no failure, though.
You don't spot anything that shows up on your bug sweep. So it's really not bugged. Though if someone was listening outside of your room, or if they're someone was listening outside of your room, that would be a lot harder to tell. So, but general assumption is the scan reads as clean.
Okay.
And within the atmosphere of here, it's still hard to do comms, but you're getting close enough to all the walls that you'd assume you can get a read.
Oh, okay. All right. So he'll transmit that to Sai over the internals. And then say, based on my analysis, we're honestly probably going to have to get into the guard tower and literally run the entire thing from there. Everything seems to be very centralized.
That's what I gathered too. It didn't take much for things to happen quickly. So, well, before we tackle that bridge, and Sai turns and looks at Corey, we need to tackle this one. Do y'all have any clue what caused what just fucking happened?
She saw something and then reacted.
No idea who, what?
It was...
I was up with
female,
Arik, so I couldn't
believe?
get a good look.
I do not know other than that. Would
And
you like me to
I'm
wake
not
her?
quite a meter tall, so I can't see shit.
As you're having this conversation, we're
That's
going
fair.
to fade our scenes for the moment. Aries, you're tense waiting, and you're tense waiting for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever they're doing. They're not coming into the room.
If it's been
At least not very immediately.
at about 3 minutes,
Okay. Yeah.
at about 3 minutes, I'm going to operate on the assumption that they are waiting for a backup of some kind or something else to arrive. So I need to be proactive in getting myself out. How sturdy does the bed look?
So it's one of those Star Wars beds that's actually part of the floor goes up into a circular thing that then becomes
it's
a bed.
It's not like a separate piece.
No, you probably can't shove it around unless you uproot the flooring,
Does it
which
have-
might require equipment.
Does it have any electronics in it?
Yeah, there's definitely a fair amount of medical monitoring stuff built into the bed, as well as there are monitors on the walls that have some level of readout.
Alright. So first, I'm going to try to get that rail off again.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to get the rest of the way off.
Yep. Make me athletics difficulty E4 again, this time with an additional setback die, because you've already sort of pushed it into a position that makes it harder to get it all the way off.
That's fine. An advantage.
It screeches, and you think you got it a little further, but it's still adhered. And as you're sort of gripping this thing, a pulse of electricity runs through it. You soak what you can, but you take 5 strain damage.
I take 1 strain damage.
Okay. So yeah.
I have soak of 4.
As it
Um,
seems like some sort of security has been activated.
Okay, that's fine. I want to try to find. Now that that's a little bit more out of the way at the very least, I want to see about causing a short in basically in. I want to try to break the electrics of this room. To try to, because assuming that everything is drawing from at least a more centralized power grid. Not everything in this room has its own independent power generator, I am assuming. So if I can cause some form of electronic feedback loop by fucking with the electronics of the bed, I can theoretically short the rest of the room and maybe unlock the door. I would like to try to do that.
Okay. That is theoretically. Yeah, make me mechanics difficulty 3 and I'll flip a dark side point so you have another one.
Okay. Oh, hang on, I need to upgrade the difficulty on that, sorry. Flat roll.
You are trying to fuck with the bed, and aside from taking 8 more strain damage, you're not able. You think the bed has been flickering in and out, but you haven't been able to create enough of a short that it's affected other things. Again, you can soak whatever of that 8
I soaked 4 of it.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, the problem is I don't have anything else that I can do here. No other skills that are applicable. They took all of my shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just because I've taken a bunch. I'm going to use my second wind just to heal 2 strain. While I'm here.
Alright.
Is there and so aside from what I have in here is an empty room and a bed.
An empty medical bay with a bed and some readouts.
Yeah, so nothing like there's no other objects of any kind other than a broken camera, a partially broken bed, and the door.
Yeah. You can make me a let's go with streetwise check to assess this a little bit. Difficulty 2.
Two failures. Oh.
Yeah, that is what you can see of the room at the moment.
Alright. I go back to the door and listen and see if there's any activity outside the door.
Okay.
Because if
Let's
I wait for
go
them to come in,
for-
I'm just gonna get shot
yeah.
to death.
That is a possibility.
That is the assumption that Ares is making.
Yeah. No, that's completely reasonable. Perception difficulty 2. With a boost die, because you know roughly how soft it's going to be and what the people out there would sound like.
2 successes.
With 2 successes, you hear some footsteps, but you don't hear anything directly in front of your door. After maybe 5 more minutes, you hear your sort of louder, more urgent footsteps, but only briefly. And they seem to pass you by. You sort of tense just in case they're going to come in and shoot you.
Right.
But whatever it is goes by your room.
Yeah. So
After. Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I wasn't going to be like standing there for very long. It was just for
yeah.
like a minute, just
Sorry.
listening.
Then yeah, you hear some footsteps, but not much of anything.
I'm going to go back and I have to break the room. I'm going to basically just try to use whatever part of the bed that I can, or just punching it with my arm if I need to break the electronics and force a short in the room. So I know it's gonna be. I know I'm gonna have a setback die, but
Yeah.
I need to. That's my
Setback
objective.
die, you can make that mechanics check again if you'd like.
And it was difficulty 3,
Yes, and
and I'm going to use a light side point.
yeah.
3 mechanics. Nope. Oh wait, I didn't upgrade. Fuck! I keep forgetting to hit the upgrade.
Reroll it then.
A threat. No.
Okay, with
not-
one threat you're punching, and you do get the bed to turn off. Unfortunately, it isn't. It's a shut off. It's not enough of a short to
Yeah.
flash the rest of the room. And but about at that time you hear a tick of some sort of deadbolt. And over the slightly broken speaker within that dangling camera, still audible but distorted, sort of pre-recorded or robotic voice. Compliance is required for those receiving medical treatment. Return to your visit and receive treatment, or your injuries will remain.
Was the click of the deadbolt opening or closing?
Sounded like closing.
Closing? Yeah. So.
Um,
I mean, the bed's broken. They can't see that it's. I'll sit on the bed.
Okay.
And see if anybody comes in.
You do notice that there seem to be some monitors in the bed itself that try and flick things onto the screen, but you've trashed this bed at this point.
Yeah.
So, like, if you've ever broken a heart rate monitor and it can still tell when it's being pressed, it
Yeah.
just can't actually monitor anything. It's getting that kind of error message.
Do I think I've broken the bed enough that the security on the rail is no longer going to shock me if I try to pry it off?
You don't know. Like, either it seems like at this point, either you've broken it enough that it's not going to shock you, or it's going to shock you worse because the safeguards aren't working.
Yeah. Is it jutting out at like, have I made it jut out at a position where it could be like a lethal obstacle at this point?
I mean, yeah, there's a sharp side sticking out into the room.
Okay, that's fine. That's enough.
Yeah.
Is there a pointy point anywhere? Good enough for me.
Good enough for me. I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit and just basically stare at the door and wait.
Yeah. About another half hour passes, and at that point, roll me a vigilance check, difficulty 2.
One success, 2 threat. Oh wait, hang on. That was a setback. Hang on. Assuming I don't have a setback. 2 failures, 3 advantage. Love it when you succeed on the harder roll and then fail on the easier roll.
That's why I say always reroll, because otherwise it's not fair.
I know.
You hear actually, you don't hear much of anything, but you sort of, after a moment, start to cough something indefinite. You're definitely breathing in something that is not air itself.
Yep.
Or is in the air.
Yep. Can I hold my, like, help?
Yeah.
I have no options right now. Can I hold my breath?
You can try.
Because they can't tell if I'm awake or not, so.
Yep.
I'm gonna get off the bed so it's no longer reading signs. And then I'm gonna go stand by the door and hope they underestimate how long I can hold my breath, and hope I'm not overestimating how long I can hold my breath.
All right. So I want you to roll me a resolve roll.
What difficulty?
Difficulty of 2. This is to measure how long it is, so more successes will be very valuable to you.
Resilience.
Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
resilience was the word I meant to say.
I'm gonna upgrade this with a light side point.
Resolve is your emotional resilience.
Aaron, for what it's worth, rules as writ are that a character can hold their breath for a number of rounds equal to their brawn characteristic if you're running off of that at all.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I am giving the opportunity for a roll for this to sort of succeed more than that or fail more than that.
4 successes.
I would say succeed more than that.
So, round passes, second round passes, is you reach the point where you are like self-suffocating by holding your breath, but you have the discipline and the experience and the training to do that thing that surfers do, where it's like, if I don't hold my breath, this will be worse. And the edges of your vision are fading, but you're still aware, if deeply disoriented, when the door slides open.
I want to grab whoever is there and introduce them to the spiky end of that rail that I've been breaking.
Okay.
At high speed.
I believe there is a roll for shoving things.
I figured it'd be a brawn roll or brawl roll.
Yeah, let's go with that. Brawl in melee.
2 difficulty. I'd like to use a light side point to reduce their ability to react in however way I can do that.
Okay.
We're
gonna say it's the convenience that they have no idea you might be still awake.
Yeah. Can I aim? Like, can I take a moment to just wait until they're in prime range to grab and then yank? I don't know if I can. If I can't, that's fine. But
You can't in this instance because you are trying to react more than you. Aiming takes a moment.
That's fine.
Whereas this is urgent.
1 success.
Okay, with 1 success, you sort of finally let out your breath and you shove this person into the pointy end of the bed, running them through. They seem to still be alive, but not particularly. It's a Zagarian, I can't pronounce that word. Zagarian woman wearing sort of a medical lab coat, who's starting to cough up blood. But you're also breathing in this atmosphere that has been laced with a lot of sedatives. So
does she have like a gas mask?
She does not seem to, no.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just going to leave her there and exit the room.
All right. So, yeah. You have a slight chance of doing that. But keep in mind, you are not able to hold your breath for any longer.
No, I am.
So make me a difficulty 5 resilience roll to try, or no, it's resilience. Difficulty 5 resilience roll to try and hold off this poison long enough to get out. And also the dark side point.
Okay.
All of us non-force users are sending you good vibes through the force.
Everyone is connected to the force. Some of you are just connected the same way a trash can would be.
That'd be me.
That was a rerun joke.
4 successes, and 3 threats.
Yeah, sure.
Holy
You
shit,
are
Zach.
stumbling down this hallway. Your eyes are bleary and you can't quite tell what's going on around you. You can see several doors similar to the one you exited through on one side, and what looks like the end of the hallway has a door that seems like it might be locked.
Looking
That's what you've got in
for.
front of you at the moment.
I know I can't. I'm bleary-eyed, not able to process a lot of information. I'm
Yeah.
looking for any place that I can get into where there are not other people. That if I can determine that, I don't know if I can.
Unfortunately, there's no indicator on the outside of these doors, and they're all closed. But there are doors going down the hall in the direction you're headed. You'd assume there are probably people at the exit door or beyond it, but you don't know that for sure, as everything is opaque.
And there's nothing that I can't determine, like, this is a closet, or it looks like a closet, or, like, the door is...
All of the doors look
completely
evenly
different.
spaced. If you
Yeah.
had to make an instant guess, you'd assume they're similar rooms to the one you were in,
Yeah.
though you don't know if others are in there.
And I don't see any... Like just... So, doors all the way down the hallway, and one door at the end, probably the exit.
Your guess is there's several medical bays along the
Yeah,
hall
yeah.
and an exit at the end. Yeah.
Any sort of ventilation. Again, looking for anything that, like, any sort of crawl space. Like, is there a crawl space under the floor that I can tell, if I could tell?
There's grills, but there doesn't seem to be a crawl space.
And I will get to the far end and just sort of, like, in the corner of the hallway, like, where it's the wall meets
Yep.
the wall. I'm just going to sort of sit there and try to catch my breath for a minute.
Okay.
Now that I'm not in the room that is trying to knock me out.
Yep.
And just sort of, like, center myself, or try to.
Yep. And the rest, and we're gonna go back to the rest of you. Corey, eventually you blink awake, definitely feeling the strain of stun, but having recovered enough to be awake.
Okay.
I have your gun, by the way. We did not.
Is that what she wakes up to hear?
No. I'm making it known while we were waiting. I took Corey's gun.
You're laying on very cushy, comfortable couch.
So comfortable. Corey?
In
Oh,
a
we're
very
doing-
posh room.
Oh, everything hurts.
Powder, she's awake.
Powder will go over and try to heal.
Corey's taken a fair amount of strain damage.
Do through my stuff.
I believe it is technically referred to as all the strain damage.
Yeah.
All of it. Every single bit of it.
Yep.
All right. So.
Yes, I have 12 strain and 3 wounds.
Okay. Well, I can definitely get rid of the wounds without any issue at all.
Once Powder's done, I'm going to make an attempt to get rid of your strain. But we will let Powder go first.
Yeah, I'm like legit. Just in my surgeon ranks alone, I heal 3 wounds. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So make whatever that roll is.
I believe that would be medical.
Yeah, it'll be medicine difficulty 1.
Yep. That's what I was checking with the difficulty there. Okay. Bada boom. Really? Well.
Okay, so you heal automatic 3 from surgeon, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't fuck it up. You don't do great, but you do what you need to. So Corey, you
The
don't.
open wounds are shut.
Yeah,
Now
I
I
do
just-
the bare minimum.
it's just the wounds to the wounds that are both emotional strain and electrocution rolled into one.
Yes.
Yeah, that electrocution sucks, doesn't it?
I'm not seeping. I'm simply not really able to move much. Which is probably for the best.
Sai, you wanted to try something.
Yeah, so I'm going to use the first time I get to use my keystone ability this campaign,
Heyo.
inspiring rhetoric, and I'm going to say, let me make that average. I'm going to say to Corey, listen, I'm not sure what just happened, but we need you on your feet. We need you at full faculties. You are an important part of this group. Come on, fill us in. What's going on? And I make my leadership roll. So all of us regain or heal 2 strain if any of us took 2 strain.
Nice.
Because I rolled also enough advantages to affect all of us. So, Corey, you at least heal 2.
Okay.
But I do as well. So I'm back down to 1.
And keep in mind there is the limits, whatever those are for you guys at the moment.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
one I'm down to.
Yeah.
So yeah, Corey, you at least heal 2 strain, so you're not at max strain anymore.
Okay.
Yep.
And
that's
So
then
the
yeah,
one
there's
thing I
you're
can't do.
able to move and stuff, but
I can heal wounds. I can't heal strain.
yeah.
So what happened back there? What's is everything okay? You
hold
flipped
on.
out.
It's a little fuzzy at the moment. Also, ow.
That's right. Take your time.
What happened?
You saw something, turned on your heel, made your way to one of the side rooms with the individuals in them. You did not react at all to us talking or interacting with. Due to the precarious nature of our situation, I then made the call to put you down.
And right about there, she sits up suddenly. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I kind of remember now.
I'm so sorry, but it was the only thing I could think of to do that kept all of us safe.
No. It's good. It's all good.
What happened?
Well, I saw someone.
Who'd you see?
That's a deadpan question. I love it.
Well, my mom.
Oh,
Dear goddess.
well.
She's in one of the rooms.
Uh-huh. So she's owned by, or what was apparently owned by a hut. It's a long story.
This changes
But
things.
that's sort of where I grew up.
Does it?
And
Obviously.
well, I mean,
They can't
You were
just
always
use...
going to rescue people.
Well, yes, but it was also a rescue/diversion. We kind of, in all fairness, were leaving some of it up to chance in terms of what really was going to happen to them, weren't we?
Okay, so we're leaving a little bit less up to chance now.
Correct.
Because we have at least one that we definitely have to get out. So it's changed like 5%. And that's assuming that there's only 20 slaves here, which I know there's more than that.
I know Ares is not here. However, given his propensity to want to take action, I have an assumption of what he will say, but I would like to put this up to a group vote, as in I want to change the point of this mission.
The fuck you say?
I would like to bring this place down, not just get out.
Oh. I mean, that's not really changing the point that much. It's more...
It adds some
That's
steps.
more-
It's more
just
enhancing the point of the
Enhancing.
mission.
Yes.
Is that a yes, then?
It's
Oh,
it's sort
yes.
of like it's sort of,
It does change the order in which we do things, I think, but...
A bit.
I mean,
Um,
if we killed the dude, isn't that a good step towards taking the place down anyway? So isn't that still stage one?
True, but now we have significantly more people to kill.
so here's the thing. If we're going to, like, when you say bring this place down, are you speaking literally or metaphorically?
It doesn't have to be literal, however,
Okay,
I don't think
good.
literal is a bad idea, but it doesn't have to be literal.
I kind of like the idea of inverting the power structure.
Yeah, that was what my thought was as well.
I will remind you that I am not a combat droid.
No,
I know.
you are not. There are, however, a few of them around. So, we might need to do a little. Well, I think our deployment schematic is still fairly consistent. We need to get into the guard tower,
Agreed.
see how much central command there is.
That would
and
also
then-
help us find Jangusta, I believe, as well.
Probably. I'm sure they have plenty of surveillance equipment around here, and maybe even some records and whatnot. And then, yeah.
But I think just not getting the Doug and getting out, at least in my opinion, is enough anymore now that I've seen everything here. I'd like to actually do some good and make a difference, at least if it just means for these people in this fucking floating castle.
Okay. So here's the thing that I would suggest. They will definitely give us more walk-around tours if we need them,
Yes.
but honestly, they're not going to give us a walk-around tour of where we need to be.
Correct.
So I would say let's not waste any more time, and let's go. Since we've got all the actionable intel we are likely to get, there's no point in delaying any further.
Yeah, I agree. I was feigned God's advocate, but I was thinking about possibly setting up a private viewing. Ugh, and I Sai just shudders when he says that out loud. Like he can finally physically react to the words he's been saying this whole time. But the physical viewing of Corey's mother, maybe we could get more intel, more information, but I don't know really honestly if that would amount to much, but it was just a thought I had before we started making things go boom.
That would be nice, but
I don't honestly know how much it will accomplish. Because it's not like we're going to be alone with her, you know.
right.
Especially not after what just happened.
Right. Okay, well, Rerun, yet again, this seems to be your area of expertise, sabotage and saboteuring, so I will now start defaulting to you.
All right. Corey, might need your help hacking a few doors.
Okay.
Corey, how we feeling in terms of acting in accordance moving forward? I don't blame you for what happened. I'm
good.
We could all die, is what I'm hinting at, and I want to make sure we're at least all on the same page moving forward.
I'm good.
Okay, good. I'm sorry I shot you.
It's okay. It happens.
No, I shouldn't, though.
Well,
You didn't knock her out.
I am sorry that I paralyzed you.
You didn't
I am
knock her out either.
I am mostly sorry that I am now down a paralytic.
If it helps any, I was gonna shoot you too till I got knocked out.
Oh, I know. I know.
Okay. How did that happen, by the way?
You shot yourself in
You
the
shot
foot.
yourself in the foot.
Oh.
I
No,
love
you-
all three of us said it at once.
Which bodes
All
well
right.
for what we're going to try to accomplish moving forward.
Well, everybody has what they need.
Yeah, Sai's got his gun.
We
He
don't
also
have Ares.
No, we don't. I'm hoping. force
The
be
independents are
willing,
looking for him. If he's out there, they'll find him.
I'm hoping the wrecking ball that is Ares shows up and just causes mayhem when mayhem needs to be caused.
About that.
Aside, like a look of hope, the rebellion hope, a look of hope.
Right. That's
It's
kind of
aside,
30 minutes later, it's just Ares
Crash
covered
cut
in
to
blood
Ares.
with explosions behind him.
Hey, that would work at this point.
Very John McClane-esque.
Just staggering out of a
But
hospital. ship.
Unless there was something that
Rerun's just gonna get everybody loaded and moving towards the guard tower.
okay, then we're going to move over to Ares because these timelines have not yet intersected at all. Ares, you're pretty winded between everything that's happened. So while you're keeping a careful eye out, you're spending the next maybe 5 minutes just trying to get the poison to run through your system as fast as possible. I'll deal with the mounting probability of a concussion along with everything else.
Do I? I don't suppose that I have enough time to get one of those discipline checks, do I?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
hinting at.
okay.
But you are sort of stuck in place while you're doing that in this hallway, in the side of
Or
this hallway.
it's a cool discipline or cool.
Cool or discipline?
I'm gonna take discipline. It's way better than my cool.
Oh, yep, and
Yay! I'm back to normal now.
the rest of you do also end a scene now, so anyone that still needs to can also make a it's essentially a short rest, but it's the cinematic version of a short rest.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of pep talks.
So I was shot the next morning, walking around just fine.
And it's a
Either
Sorry.
cool or discipline, no difficulty. Each success heals one strain.
I am equally bad at both of those things.
Good for
Hey,
you.
Corey can roll really well.
Hey,
That's not
All right.
bad.
2 more strain recovered.
Yeah.
I'm back down to just the one below threshold.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not feeling entirely better, but mechanically you've gotten over a lot of the rougher parts of your wounds. When you hear the sliding of one of the other side medical bay doors,
Can I get this door that I'm next to open?
I mean, it is opening.
So
you don't need
it's
to try.
Hey, sorry, you said one of the others. I didn't realize it was the one next to
the
me.
one that's closest to you. The exit door you've confirmed is locked, and you have no idea how to open it.
Okay, cool. Get to my feet and wait for whatever's coming out to come out before headlocking them with my arm, with my robotic arm.
Well, you're preparing to do that. It's a little hard to headlock a floating stretcher. Do you want to headlock the person on the stretcher?
The person
Because
pushing the
that-
stretcher. If it's
It is not being
it's not being
pushed.
pushed. Okay.
It seems to be automated. There is someone who seems very unconscious on it,
Oh.
and it seems to be floating by on a sort of automated thing. As it starts to move past you, the lighting that's sort of on the side of the stretcher blares red twice and continues onwards down the hall, away from you, not towards the exit.
Glance inside the room that it came out. Is there anybody
Seems
else
to
in
be
there?
empty, similar setup to the one you were in. There's a non-destroyed bed.
I'm gonna follow
Monitors
the
on the walls.
stretcher then.
Okay. Yeah.
Hurry,
You
find a
follow
lab
the
coat.
stretcher down the hall. You notice that, again, there is someone. It's hard to tell because there's blankets over the whole thing. On there, you'd guess that attacking them may not help the situation.
No, I'm not going to attack them. I'm following the stretcher to see if I can figure out a
Yeah.
different way out.
All right.
Because the stretcher has some amount of autonomy, which means it has a place to go.
Yeah, you'd assume it. That makes a lot of sense. It is. Yeah, it heads down towards the end of the hall. That you pass about 7 of these medical bay doors. You would assume. Before the hallway turns, which you didn't quite have a chance to notice when you were headed towards the exit. The stretcher turns down that part of the hallway.
I do leaning in. I do.
Make me a vigilance check.
Yeah, I do stop at the corner and peer around. I don't just immediately follow.
That's fair.
What difficulty?
Difficulty 3. Everything here is fairly well concealed.
Hey, be vigilante. 1 success, 2 threat.
Aside from pre-mentioned stretcher that you are actively following, you don't see anyone. You do notice that if you round this corner at all, you will definitely be in full view of a camera.
Can I tell where? Is the camera panning around, or is it just locked in place?
Well, you had to look back very quickly.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's just, this is a thin hallway, and it's down the hall. It's looking down the hallway from the far end of this hall.
Okay. Can I? And I don't know if maybe the stretcher has already moved too far away, but can I just sort of like roll from the corner to behind the stretcher and basically crouch walk using the stretcher as a block?
You can try. It will not be easy, but you can make me a stealth roll if that's what you'd like to do.
What difficulty?
Difficulty of 3, but with a setback die, because again, this is a floating stretcher. It's not covering the entire hallway.
Yeah. I'm basically just
and
trying
you're
to.
not. You're not a
Okay.
small Mandalorian.
No, I'm not. 2 successes.
You're not a small Mandalorian, but cameras have very fixed viewpoints. So while it wouldn't fool someone that's standing in the hall, you are hiding behind the stretcher. At one point, the stretcher sort of starts to move sideways, and you manage to keep up with it as one of the opaque back of the wall slides up in a bit, and it seems like the stretcher is going to head in wherever that is. There's no illumination there.
Following through.
Okay. You follow through into this not quite illuminated room. As the stretcher, you can hear whirring down, seeming to land flat against the floor with soft thud. Again, there's no light in here, but going off of the sound, that's what.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, and you hear the wall behind you starting to swoop back shut.
That's fine. This is a place that's not in the hallway where I can be easily seen,
Yeah.
so I'm fine figuring out where I'm at now.
Okay.
Is there anything I can do to figure out where I'm at, or what sort of room this is? I know it's
Um,
dark, but
Yeah. You can make me a perception. It's difficulty 3, and keep in mind you won't be able to see anything even if you succeed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
ascertain information.
Easy enough. Yeah.
Difficulty 3, perception. If it'll roll. There it goes. 1 failure, 1 advantage, so probably not much.
So you don't learn much, but there are some things you learn automatically. You can run your hand against the walls and determine that the wall off the opposite side that opened up is definitely slightly different material.
Mhm.
You don't know if that means it's a door or if it's got a mural on it or something. It's just hard to tell. The room is fairly small. Maybe 5 feet across on each side. You can tell where the thing landed down, and when you get close enough, you can feel the slight you get the slight hearing sense of breath that the person isn't necessarily aware of you, but there is someone under the cloth on the now deactivated stretcher.
They're alive, though, which is an important thing, because I didn't want to...
As far as you can tell, they are breathing.
Right.
You have no idea what physical state they're in with 1 failure.
Yeah, it's just... They are breathing, which means I hopefully didn't walk into the incinerator.
As far as you can
this is
tell,
the
you did not
crematorium.
walk into a garbage compactor or an incinerator, though I did roll for it, and I turned up a no. Nah, they just incinerate the rooms.
I'm glad to see that several of us were on the roll of, oh hey, he rolled into the death trap.
It's another blood room.
So I'm just going to see if I can't find any sort of, just like feeling along the wall, seeing if I can't find any sort of computer panel readout, anything that I might be able
With
to
1
turn
failure,
on.
unfortunately, you weren't able to find anything of that nature.
Okay. I just keep looking, because that's all I can do right now is look and see what I can find around me.
Okay.
So. I might be looking for a while until something happens.
Yep. You're in a very dark place as we move back to Team Guard Tower, I guess.
I like Team Awesome, but that's okay too.
Team Awesome Guard Tower.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're heading down.
More awesome than the Guard Tower, actually. That's what we want.
You're headed down through that large spire, and across the outside of the secured area. Just so I'm sure, you're headed to the guard tower, not the watchtower.
Right, because the guard tower was the one that Rerun had clocked as being like, hey, lots of connections and power lines, and looks like central control is there, right?
Access.
Yes.
Yep.
That is the place then.
Yep.
And Rerun's plan is fake it with confidence. I mean, he's an R2 droid, so he's used to just being able to be overlooked while trundling along in plain sight to everybody.
Okay.
So yeah, he just wheels himself in as hopefully from at least a less observed angle, but he's angling towards whatever ground level access door they have.
Yeah, they've got a front door that's clearly for both droids and people. They don't have like a separate R2 entrance, or he's also an R3 droid, but yeah.
Right. But he's about the same dimensions as an R2.
Yeah, he's the same function and dimensions.
Sorry,
yeah.
Probably misspoke.
So what are the rest of you doing as that's happening?
I'm definitely staying further back, just because I know me just walking into like security rooms and stuff will raise far more questions than an R2 unit. So I'm more just kind of staying in the vicinity, definitely just doing the I'm here to buy people, so I'm just buying some time, looking around, taking in the beautiful views kind of thing. So yeah, but I'm staying close to where Rerun is, but
Yeah.
I know he can reach me internally in comms, so I'm not really too worried about being within earshot. So
Okay.
And Powder is
Don't
trying to stay
mind me.
within-
I'm just here buying people.
Oh my god. That's
You
gonna
gotta-
end up in advice, isn't it?
you got to speak the lingo.
No,
Powder
it's
is gonna
not.
stay as close as they can
You're
to Sai.
Yes, I am sticking close to Sai because I'm going to assume that that people are probably who work here are probably not necessarily keen on me wandering around by myself at this point.
What makes you think?
Yeah, you did kind of go on a rampage. Little bit.
Rampage is a really strong word. That would imply I did damage to anything other than myself and the medical droid.
You didn't even really damage the medical droid. That was primarily Rerun.
Oh,
Yep.
that was straight up entirely me.
That's
Aaron,
fair.
Aaron, now
yeah.
that we've kind of made a fairly good loop of the location by
Mhm.
this point, is it easy to tell from what I've seen? Do the slaves outnumber the guards in kind of the classic slave building, where because they have more
Yeah.
product than they do, people guarding the product, obviously, or
In the slave quarters, you're almost certain that is the case. You're not entirely sure whether or not that's the case in this out of the secure area you're in.
yeah,
Especially because it's hard to estimate who's a guard and who is
just there.
just a buyer or someone like you that's there for other reasons.
Okay.
Um,
But at least in the slave quarters area, it was very noticeable.
In the slave quarters area, it was very noticeable, though. Given your background, I want you to make me a cool check as someone who's got a lot of innate insight and negotiation prowess.
Okay. What difficulty? 2?
Difficulty of 2, yeah.
Cool, Jake. 3 successes, 2 advantages.
Okay, with 3 successes, you did notice while you were walking through that they definitely outnumber. However, part of the function of a place like this is to rob people of their agency and will to resist actively.
Right.
So you may end up in a Katara situation very quickly.
Yeah.
If you just are like, all of the doors are open, fight!
Yeah. No,
And
Sai
then nobody does.
Everyone
definitely,
stares at you.
while Sai lets Rerun be Rerun, Sai definitely is using this time to formulate
Right.
a something like a rousing speech is way over dramatic, but something to the extent that he could send over the comms when deemed appropriate to maybe rally the troops, as it were, as that is literally like 90% of his life's work is doing that.
Yeah, that is fair. Just know that this is a situation where people are going to have trouble doing that, and they're going to be
Correct.
very suspicious of being prompted to do that.
Oh yeah, there will be a necessary time and place, or it will fail horribly.
Yep. It may fail horribly, especially because a lot of these people are like, if I actively resist, that could mean death.
Yeah, no,
Very
yeah,
easily.
that is part of his thought process for sure.
Yeah.
Rebellions don't happen easy.
So
Powder has basically
if
told
he's up,
Sai, I will just follow your lead. So
Cool.
Yeah, so
if he's
Rerun,
up to the
you're-
door, yep,
Yep.
he's going to go up to the door and see if it'll just open. He does not expect it to, but he's going to try.
It doesn't open automatically. Are you trying to use the door lock, the little droid?
Yeah, if there's he'll
Okay.
try and see if the door is unlocked and if he can just get in.
This front door actually you can just access with a standard port.
Okay. Plug in. Open this bastard up.
Yep. And yeah, you open up and trundle into what seems to be a small lobby area. There's like row seating on either side. There's the kind of off desk that they have at like banks and stuff with tellers behind it, with several security guards sitting behind it. They strike you as slightly mercenary types, but they'll look up as you walk in. One of them will sit down at like the proper desk at the front, click the little let your voice through the soundproof glass thing. What can I do for you today?
Very quickly, he'll send to intercoms for Sai. Get ready to come in. Now, is it
Oh,
a
dear.
solid It is a solid barrier in front of me, right?
There's like glass, soundproof glass for the top half, and like stone for the bottom half. It's teller desk style.
Okay. All right. But it's not like there's a hole or anything where I could hand them something if I needed to.
There seems to be a closed at the moment slot.
How big?
Like large enough to slip a small pad through.
Okay. But from where he's sitting, there's like a reasonably high, but still he can look over desk that's opaque, and then glass or transparent steel or something above that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's definitely taller than you, but you're not quite up against it so you can see easily enough.
Okay. And in binary, he'll say, looking for charging port?
We've got some in the central tower. I can have someone escort you there. Unfortunately.
Central tower. No, I can find that.
All right. Have a nice
And
day, sir.
And he drops a frag grenade at the very bottom where they can't see it and starts to leave.
Okay.
Tick, tick, boom. We're going
All right.
in loud, boys.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Okay. Roll that explosion, whatever it is, because I don't remember the exact numbers.
Okay. It is a ranged light.
Oh.
Hot fucking damn.
Okay, well that definitely lands.
All right. And he'll be using the Triumph to definitely activate the blast quality.
Okay.
So.
Never been more proud.
So that's 8, 9, 10 damage, just straight to the stone, and then anything within engaged range of that stone also takes 8 damage.
Okay. So yeah,
Coming in hot, boys.
And the door slides open, and Rerun basically sticks his head out, and there's just this cloud of debris and smoke behind him.
Yep.
Because cool guys don't look at explosions.
And I think that is the perfect moment to end on.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.